How much does it cost to be a Division I quarterback? I've never made a video like this, but when researching Casey Thompson, I came across this article on The Athletic. Antonio Morales wrote a great article named "The Cost of Raising a Blue Chip Quarterback." God dang, that is a lot of money. The article talks about the journey of Bryce Young, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Jake Garcia, and Malachi Nelson. This article goes through some of the costs it takes to become a top-notch quarterback prospect, and I will link it in the description below. I'm not saying this is what you have to do, nor am I saying this is the exact formula. I just really enjoyed this article and really wanted to talk about this subject. In this, I'm going to talk about some of the obvious costs, the not so obvious costs, and some tough things about the process. Now, the first obvious cost is private school. Depending on where you live, mainly if you don't live in Texas, most of the time top-notch schools for football are private schools, and the average cost is about $14,978 according to Private School Review. Some schools may offer scholarships or financial aid packages, while some may not. Bishop Gorman costs about $14,300 for the 2020 to 2021 season. It's a high-power school in Nevada that's won a few national championships. Mater Dei, where Bryce Young went, costs about $17,000 depending on whether you're Catholic or not Catholic. And the high end of all of this is IMG Academy, which is a boarding school down in Florida, which can cost over $67,000 a year for football according to their website. Another not so obvious cost, strength and conditioning coaches. Now, a high-end trainer can cost over $100 an hour, and the average can be between $40 to $70 an hour according to lessons.com. Now, if you're really focused on getting this Division I scholarship, a lot of the times you need that higher end trainer. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for everything, and I'm not saying go out and find the most expensive trainer in your area, because you need to do your research and be careful with who you pick. Now, this may seem like an obvious cost or may not seem like a not so obvious cost, but if you want to be a 4 or 5 star recruit quarterback, you need to find a quarterback coach. Now, Zach Wilson, who I did a video on a few months ago, his dad taught himself how to be Zach Wilson's quarterback coach, but he did all he could till he finally had to send Zach to a quarterback coach. Now, according to the Athletic article, the average cost is about $100 a week on the low end, and you probably don't want the low-end trainers. And the Athletic article also talks about how you need to be careful when picking out these coaches, because you need to make sure they're the right type of coaches to help you and aren't just taking your money. Now, I'm not saying these are all strength and conditioning and quarterback coaches, because by far it is not. It's only a very, very small percentage. You just need to do your research. Now, let's talk about the not so obvious costs. Now, I don't know if Pop Warner's still the main source, but you need to pay for Pop Warner because that's what I grew up playing and what this article mentions. Pop Warner, teams fees, and the cost of 7-on-7 teams. Some teams have $300 to $500 fees, and that does not include travel costs, or sometimes depending on the type of equipment you get with it. Another not so obvious cost, camps. College team camps to get in front of the college coaches you want to get in front of can cost over $100 per camp, and the price tag is only going up depending on which school you're going to. And then the specialty camps. The Elite 11 regional camps cost $50, and the Elite 11 Academy camp costs $800. Now, the Academy camp is for those who want to get in front of the Elite 11 coaches and get that specialty training before they're seniors and compete for the Elite 11, I believe. I tried to find the cost for the Elite 11 finals, but I couldn't find that. But if you find that cost, please leave it in the description below. Now, let's talk about visits. There are two types of college visits, official and unofficial visits. The NCAA description of the two: any visit to a college campus by a college-bound student-athlete or his or her parents paid for by the college is an official visit. Visits paid for by the college-bound student-athlete or their parents are unofficial visits. During an official visit, the college can pay for transportation to and from the college for the prospect, lodging, and 3 meals per day for both the prospect and their parents or guardians, as well as reasonable entertainment expenses, including 3 tickets to a home sports event. The only expense a college-bound student-athlete may receive for a college during an unofficial visit are 3 tickets to a home sports event, meaning the travel, the hotel and lodging, and the food are all coming out of your pocket during an unofficial visit. Colleges will push you to take unofficial visits and attend their camps. And I'm not just saying like this is a little email, hey, come see our camp. I mean, they will really push you. And it's because you only get a certain amount of official visits as a student athlete. You need to take the unofficial visit to usually get the athlete to get an official visit. And that brings up flight insurance. Morales describes a situation in his article where Thompson Robinson was supposed to take an unofficial visit to Oregon. His mother didn't buy flight insurance because why would Oregon cancel an unofficial visit? Well, Oregon received a commitment from another quarterback and told DTR he could still come, but he wasn't going to get an offer. Now on top of that, I kind of previewed this already, but travel costs. Flights can cost over $300. You need to pay for gas if you're traveling in a car to and from these camps if they're in your home state. Hotels cost money if it's an overnight camp where you're far away from home. You need to pay for food while you're on these camp routes. Rental cars if you're flying and you're not close to home, and all those types of expenses, they really can add up really quickly. And then a not so obvious cost, and not a financial cost, but the mental cost. Burnout for the athlete. Some guys start training at 6 years old, and sometimes parents push too much. The recruiting process is an emotional roller coaster. It's tough. You have some really high highs and some really low lows. Danny Hernandez, who worked with Bryce Young, said, I've had situations where I've had parents come in and say, hey man, I'll do 4 or 5 privates with you a week, and we'll do this. And they think I'm going to give them this magic recipe to make them this amazing quarterback. If I see little junior isn't all that into it, hey man, maybe we need to talk about it and reassess this thing. To most people who haven't gone through the recruiting process, they think it's this super glamoury, super glitzy, super amazing thing. I wasn't a quarterback, I went through it as a long snapper. It's great and I wouldn't change the way things went for me or having that opportunity to see the inside of how college recruiting works. It taught me how to work hard, but it's crazy and it's only getting crazier as the years go on. Some families are paying $15,000 a year just to give their child a shot. The recruiting process is tough, crazy, and insane, and I hope this video helped put some perspective on the way college football recruiting's going down. This wasn't a negative video, I just wanted to inform people and share this amazing article. Check out the article if you have a subscription to The Athletic. This was something different I did in this video, and if you really like this video and want me to do more videos like this, give me ideas down in the description below. Consider leaving a like, sharing, and subscribing to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.